Shalom, shalom, Yasharal. I pray all is well. I'm back again, twice in one day today. I'm back because I have something I want to share with y'all. And how could I not? I mentioned the two Mormon young men, right? And I asked for prayer for the one young man who, come to find out, his name is Stanford. Yesterday, I called him. I was hoping he would call me, and he didn't, and I'd been thinking about it all week. And yesterday, on my way home from work, I called that number that he gave me, but the older iron neck sort of guy answered, and it was a phone that they share, I guess, and it was on speakerphone, and I could hear the thirsty young man, genuine young man in the background. And I said I was hoping you was gonna call me, but since you didn't, I figured I'd call you and see if you guys are still down to meet up. And the young kid in the bathroom, or in the background, he said, "Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I was meaning to get a hold of you." By the end of the conversation, I kind of got the feeling like, and I still have this feeling like they're sheltering him and keeping him away from me. Wait till you hear what I gotta tell you. So, I talked to him yesterday and I said, "Would you like to meet up?" And the guy hung up on me twice. He said he didn't, but you know when someone hangs up on you and when something else happens. I could tell, because it happened right when I was getting ready to say something, or right after I had said something a little controversial. The phone just hung up, and after the second time, they only texted, and they agreed to meet me at a park. Well, he called me today, the thirsty young man, the one who I asked y'all to pray for. He called me and he said, "Yeah, instead of meeting at the park, would you like to meet at the church where we attend tonight after our meeting?" And I'm gonna instead of the other guy gonna be with me to talk to you, I'm gonna have a guy that's more of an elder, that's more knowledgeable, come with me and talk to you. So you can kind of see what that was for. they brought out the quote unquote big guns, I guess is what they thought. I don't know. But so I said, yeah. So after work, I went and I just went and met up with them. I just got back. I went to their church, and they had just got out of some kind of little service or something, and me and him and another young man went into like a little side room and shut the door, and we went in there and talked. We've been in there for an hour, and it goes along with what the Most High was working on me with today, what my last video had to do with about fear, right? When I got in there, we just started talking randomly. I gave the young man a gift, and he was talking about the Book of Mormon. He had it in his hand, and I had my Sefer, and I brought up the story Baal and the Dragon, and I told him about it, and I let him see it, and he was telling me something about the Book of Mormon, and I said, I said, "It's in there. What book in there is that in?" And he told me, and I reached my hand out for it, and he handed it to me. And the other guy, the more elder guy, I guess, which he wasn't, but about 25 maybe, he had a look on his face when the young man handed it to me, and I could tell it was like he was surprised that I was willing to touch it, not being a Mormon. And this is what I said. I said, if most of the believers that I know, like people like my mom, my family and stuff, if they knew I was grabbing this to look at this right now, they would have a heart attack. They'll want to kill me when they find out that I looked at this book. Because, like I told that young man when he called me today, I'm a son of the Most High. I'm not operating on a spirit of fear. I'm not afraid to look at that book. That book can't hurt me. I know how to judge because my Abba, Yahuwah, has showed me how to do that. The Messiah has told me how I am to judge them by their fruit. And I know what the Ruach HaKodesh, the set-apart spirit, the spirit of truth, has came to do personally in my life. And that is to show me, lead me to all truths. And he has done a decent job within me as far as molding me up into a man that can see bullshit for what it is and see truth for what it is. And I can take truth from something that has a lot of bullshit in it, and I can leave that bullshit to the wayside, and I can take that truth out of there, extract it, and use it. Those people that would be afraid to even touch that book, those people that will probably tell me and try to warn me and caution me, like, oh, you better be careful. There's things in that book, I'm just praying that you don't read it. You don't know what they're going to do. It's not about what they're going to do. What about what I'm going to do? What about the job that the Most High is asking me to do? I walked into what I've heard is enemy territory tonight. Walked right up in there with my Sefer in my hand and my zeets on, and went right up in there. I had no fear. Why would I have fear? I went there to fellowship with a young man who I could tell was hungry for truth, for the word of the Most High. And I could see that he has been malnourished. Did I walk in there with the intent like I'm going to be feeding him? No. I just went. And we had a conversation, and boy, was it an edifying one. Let me tell you. And I don't want this to sound like the same old cliche when someone says, that they were there for a reason, and, if for those of you who know about the journey that I'm on, and you know where I am as far as what I've told y'all, as far as the revelations that the Most High has revealed to me, y'all know that I've come to the land. When I tell you that this was by appointment, me meeting this young man, maybe someday, if any of y'all get to know me and spend some time with me personally, you'll see just how serious I take that. That I would not say that unless it was something miraculous. And when you hear what I tell you, was talked about between me and these two young men. If you've paid attention, and not saying that you have to, because who am I? But for those who have, and I know a few that have, you'll know that this indeed was an appointment made by the Most High for myself, and it being pertinent to the journey I am on. So we get talking, and the guy there to kind of shelter Stanford, he had the same kind of Christian-like attitude that most have, like, certain things he feels are of no importance, but are actually of the utmost importance. And he had one thing on his mind the entire conversation, even though he was attentive and engaged in the conversation. He still never he didn't stray too far from what he had in mind, and that was convincing me of something, of his church and, you know, the Mormons or whatever being like the true religion, whatever. And not too long, like 5 minutes didn't go by without him giving me and Stanford a reminder of that. And in the conversation, early into it, I'm asking them about the founder, and I honestly don't know much about their denomination, religion, whatever you want to call it. And if any of you are worried that I'm going to become a Mormon, you don't know who I am. You have no idea who I am. And very few do. But I do remember a long time, and it's been a long time ago, hearing about the founder finding some kind of gold tablet that he said that angels wrote or something. I promise you, I know nothing about them other than they have that they're polygamists and stay away. And I don't know, maybe they are horrible. I don't know. But I'm not afraid. I do not operate on a spirit of fear. I walk in there under the authority of YAHUAH HaMashiach. I am a child, a son of the Most High Abba, Yahuwah, who gets all esteem, all honor, all praise, all glory, all the time, anywhere, coming from me. So why would I fear? I go where he leads me. And let me tell you, I was led. A week ago, I was working in a yard. Two young men walked up from behind me, who I thought was Jehovah Witnesses. I'd done some little small talk with them and met a young man who I could clearly see, you would have probably seen, a desire and a lack of he hadn't been shepherded. Yahushua said to Peter, feed my sheep. He hadn't been fed. Not saying that I can feed him. I just saw that, an actual desire. The other young man, he hadn't been fed either, but he didn't want any. That young man did. And something about it just made me want to hang out with that guy. If you think I'm thinking that I can be someone to teach him or do anything, you don't have a clue who I am. You have no idea. If you'd like to know, I can help you find out. If you don't, this is good too. So we're talking about the founder of Mormons or whatever. And they tell me about this guy Lehi or something, how he left on a boat from Jerusalem with some books, some of which contained information about the Messiah being in America. I think that's what he said. Whatever he said was in those books was important, and I'm going to find out. But right now I'm just telling you kind of what I remember. And the older guy said that they believe that the new Jerusalem will be set up in North America. And I said, really? And I told him about where I was kind of with the two witnesses in Zerubbabel, Psalm 68, the road, Western America, the face, all that stuff. And his mind was blown. It really was. You could tell. And he loved the fact that we all three were there. The guy that couldn't stray far from the fact that he wanted to persuade me into becoming a Mormon. He was amazed that we were in that room talking about what we talked about. I showed him this here, the Decalogue stone, which he had never heard of. The Back Creek inscription, which they had never heard of. And he gave me one of their books, the Book of Mormon, whatever, their Bible, and wrote on a piece of paper where that was written down, where the guy went on a boat and came to, he said that he went to Central America with some books that he lost, okay? And I think he said it was 600 years ago, or maybe in the year 600, can't remember, but I'll find out. Which caused me to instantly think and remember a certain post of mine that got taken down quicker by Mark Zuckerberg, faster than anything I've ever had jacked with, and most everything I have or I put on Facebook is jacked with. But this certain post was taken down quick. The only slap on my hand that I've ever received. They're building a case against me. That's why I don't go to Facebook jail. That's why I don't get warned. They don't let nothing of mine get out. And I make things get out, but only to a certain extent. But they don't put me in jail because that does them no good as far as their eventual future reason to have me accused. But that certain post was about, it was a picture. Right there, there's the young man messaging me, Thirsty Little Gear. Could we meet again? Now check that out. You see that right there? Absolutely we can meet again, young man. That post was a screenshot from an article where a friar burnt down a sort of library in Central America, a cache of books, a wealth of knowledge, which they claimed, the friar in the church, was a heroic act on his behalf, that he burnt down a bunch of witchcraft. And I told y'all where the idea of witches came from, that they were set apart people who kept Shabbat, who were Berean-like. And when he said that the guy had books that he lost in Central America, I instantly thought of that. And I would not be one bit surprised if those books weren't in that library. And I told them how the Most High has shown me, and he's showing me what's out west in America. And I showed him the face on my phone on Google Earth. And we talked. And at the end of our conversation, the leader, the elder guy, he finally got to bring out what he was waiting to give me the whole time. And that he said, I would like to leave you. We would like to leave you with these verses in this book here, and hope that you'd go home and pray about it, and or whatever, something. And he asked me to read it for him, and I read these 3 verses, and it was about basically not blaspheming the Holy Ghost, is what the book said, the Ruach. That if you come to a truth that you confirmed in your heart, to not deny it, which is exactly what I kind of wanted to talk to them about. The only thing I really wanted to reveal to them as far as like a warning kind of goes, and I already mentioned it to the boy Stanford and the other guy, which is their whole cause for alarm with me, and that is the name of Jesus Christ, and which was in those verses I read. And I said, no. And that's kind of funny, because that's kind of what I want to say. If I showed you, and I done told Stanford, if I showed you something here that you would eventually have confirmed to you as truth from the Most High, you would know for sure that it's truth, which would come from the set apart Spirit, which is here to guide us to all truth. And you know, like I know, that if you deny that, that's the only unforgivable sin. Would you be able to lay that down? Even though it might mean all your buddies are going to excommunicate you, your congregation, your friends, these people here at this building. You might not be allowed to walk foot in this door ever again. Would you do it? And he said it just like the other guy. I would have to pray about it. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I said, what that is? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, just that the name Jesus Christ is an abomination. That is who the Messiah spoke of when he said, one will come in his own name, and him you will accept. It means hail Zeus. It's abominable. And it was designed to hook you, just like that letter J. And that is the man of lawlessness, the Antichrist. When John in Revelation wrote 666, he wrote 3 Greek letters, which would spell Jesus. And the hungry young Stanford could see that clearly. And the other guy, he could only see what is typically seen by people who just can't see. And he thought that I was afraid to say that name. And he said, well, I would just pray that when you read this, that you don't let that scare you from reading. I said, it doesn't scare me. I said, I can read it. I said, the only thing is, though, I won't mention it with any sort of reverence. I won't mention it or treat it as anything other than what it is. And that is what I just told you. I won't address the Messiah by that name. I won't address the Most High by Lord. I can speak it if I'm talking to you, because I'm not afraid of it. It can't kill me. But the eyes of the Most High are on us at all times. We will be held accountable for every word spoken. And when I speak, I want to show the Most High the utmost respect and reverence. And I told him my little analogy about how I told my dad, asked my dad if it was okay if I called him by my stepdad's name, and he seen the truth in that. And I said, so now when y'all have this confirmed to you in the mouth of 2 to 3 witnesses, the set apart Holy Ghost, set apart Spirit confirms this within you, you'll have the choice of ripping that badge off of your shirt and never giving it reverence again, regardless of what happens to you, or denying and blaspheming the set apart Spirit, which will be an unforgivable sin. I said, and just by me speaking this, that's not confirmation. If you are a sincere, genuine believer who genuinely, truthfully loves the Most High, and you are sincere in your walk, you will search this out. You will be eager to see if what I'm saying is true. And if you do go search it out, it will be confirmed to you, and you'll be faced with that choice. So, by me walking in there under the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind that I have been given by my Abba, and I have been shown how to operate it correctly, operate within it correctly by the Messiah, I walked up in there and actually had fellowship, dropped seeds, got encouraged, was led by the Most High, was shown more about where He's pointing me. And I got to exercise that power and that love and that faith and that confidence that I have in the Most High, that a book will not kill me, that a snake can bite me, like Paul said. And might have made a new friend, and hopefully someone that can sharpen me and me sharpen them as well. How amazing is that? And if you don't know about the Western United States being the promised land that the Most High Abba Yahuwah showed Moses, better recognize. I love y'all. Peace out. For now, D's out.